All right, today we're diving into American Limousine, a really big name in Chicago's whole transportation scene. We're going to break down who they are, what they do, and, how they've stayed on top for so long in such a tough city. Let's get right into it. So, think about a city like Chicago. It's always on the move. Just getting from point A to point B can be an adventure. But what about doing it with a little style, a little efficiency? How does a major city handle its premium transportation needs? That's the big question we're tackling today. For a lot of people in Chicago, this company has been the go-to answer for over 35 years. I mean, think about that for a second. 3.5 decades of navigating everything from corporate shuttles to once-in-a-lifetime events. In this day and age of ride-sharing apps popping up everywhere, that kind of staying power, it really says something. And this right here, this pretty much sums up their whole philosophy. See, it's not just about getting people from one place to another, it's about the entire experience of the journey. Doesn't matter if it's for a high-stakes business meeting or a really special night out. The goal is always the same: elegance, style, and convenience. That's the promise they've built their entire brand on. Okay, so who are these guys, really? And why have they become such a staple in the city? Let's dig into their identity and what makes them such an authority in a super competitive market. This quote says it all. It completely pulls back the curtain on their core strategy. For them, it's not about just a single transaction, a one-time ride. It's about building long-term relationships. This relentless focus on making sure the client is happy, that's got to be a huge part of their secret sauce for succeeding all these years. Okay, a great philosophy is one thing, but you've got to have the right tools for the job, right? And in this business, that means having the right vehicles. So let's take a look at what they've got parked in the garage. And right away, you can see how they've got their fleet totally dialed in for different needs. A quick business trip to O'Hare? A sedan is perfect. A big group heading to a concert or a game? You're going to need a bus. It looks like they have a specific ride for pretty much any situation you can think of. And when you dig into the details, the sheer diversity is, well, it's pretty impressive. You've got your classic corporate workhorses, the Lincoln sedans and luxury SUVs. Then, for that true VIP treatment, you've got the stretch limos. And for any kind of group, they've got the whole spectrum covered, from sleek Sprinter vans all the way up to massive coach buses. All right, so they've got the cars, but when are people actually calling them up? What are the occasions? Turns out, it really boils down to two main camps: business and pleasure. So on the one side, you've got the whole corporate world. We're talking airport runs, shuttles to McCormick Place for conventions, and just general executive travel. It's all about professionalism and being on time. And then, on the flip side, you've got life's biggest celebrations: weddings, proms, concerts, you name it. They're clearly set up to handle both sides of that coin. We've got to talk about their airport service specifically because it's a huge piece of their business. And it's not just O'Hare and Midway. They cover the private and executive airports too. What that really means is they can handle just about any kind of air travel logistics that get thrown at them anywhere in the region. Okay, so we know who they are, we know what they've got, but how far do they go? I mean, a service's range is everything, and theirs is, honestly, way bigger than you might think. And get this, we're not just talking about a Chicago service. They literally connect the heart of downtown to the entire greater Midwest. That is a massive operational footprint. So what does that massive reach actually look like on the ground? Well, they've got every Chicago neighborhood and all the suburban areas covered. North, west, south, you name it. But here's the really impressive part. They go beyond Illinois, running services into both Wisconsin and Indiana. Okay, so you've got this huge fleet, this massive service area. How in the world do you keep everything running smoothly and maintain quality? Well, it seems to all come back to their core promise: reliability. It looks like their whole reputation is built on these four key pillars. It all starts with personal one-on-one service. That's backed up by drivers who are seriously well-trained. They also put a huge emphasis on client privacy. And maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, they have a 24/7 live dispatch, so you can always reach a real person. How huge is that? So when you boil it all down, the giant fleet, the huge menu of services, the professional team, it all points back to these three things: reliability, professionalism, and convenience. That's the trifecta they're aiming for with every single ride. What we've really seen here is a company that's figured out how to not just survive, but thrive for decades in a city that's always changing. It all kind of makes you think about your own travel, doesn't it? When you're planning your next trip, big or small, what does that perfect ride actually look like to you?